Hey everyone, it's Domenica Escatel. Thank you for joining me. This week, your response to La Tiendita has been phenomenal, and I can't wait to introduce you to my guest. But before we start, I just want to tell you a little bit about the concept about La Tiendita and why we started this. Just highlighting upcoming female founders that have created their businesses through either pop-up, that are launching as that startup, or that are doing different vendor events. You know, I felt like through the pandemic, I saw a lot of my friends that had small businesses and that did, pop-ups and all these different things that because we were in quarantine and they couldn't sell anything, like this was my way of supporting them and help. So, I'm a big avid believer that as, we're creating success here, we are bringing everyone that we can with us. So we're going to bring our guests here, what I like to call the stage. And so let me bring them up. All right. Hi, amigas. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Great. I'm so excited. Thank you for spending, this time with me, and, excited to have everyone that is watching us or that's going to listen to us, just meet both of you, learn about your story and about your business and everything that you're up to. So how about we just start off with, letting everyone know who you are. So share your names, what your business is. So I always like to share that anytime you go to the grocery store, you're going to think of me, especially when you see Fruity Pebbles. And everybody's like, why Domenica? Because I always challenge everyone, pick up Fruity Pebbles because you cannot cry. It's like a rainbow in a bowl, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So that's my fun fact, is that I love Fruity Pebbles. There was a big exhibit, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago at our county fair, and my phone was off the hook of friends who know that about me, and because there was a big exhibit of Fruity Pebbles. They're like, Domenica, come down here, come get your box of Fruity Pebbles. Take a picture inside the Fruity Pebbles car. But of course, I wasn't going to do it alone. I brought my nephew, and we have like the coolest picture together on the Fred Flintstone car. So that's my fun fact.
That's so cool. I love that. I love Fruity Pebbles. This is my favorite growing up too.
Right?
Yeah, sure. I guess a fun fact about me is ever since I was a kid, like I dreamed of traveling and I didn't really get the opportunity. So as soon as I turned 18, I have just been traveling. My family likes to joke that I'm not in the country as much as normal people because I'm always gone. It was really hard during the pandemic because I had so many trips canceled, but it's okay. I've been traveling around California. So I guess that's my fun fact, that I'm just a little travel bug.
Okay, I love that.
My fun fact would be that ever since I was little, I love like healing. I love taking care of animals, things like that. So now I'm becoming an Ayurvedic practitioner in integrative medicine. And I'm just so excited. And it's just like everything that I always dreamt about embodying. And now I'm able to help others heal and on that healing journey too.
Okay, that's cool. And I know that you've really kind of brought that to your business, right? So I can't wait to hear about it.
So we at Amor and Quartz, we both make crystal candles. We also make self-care products. We're all about just taking some time for yourself. And, everyone loves lighting a candle and taking a nice bath and kind of relaxing and doing self-care. And so that's really what we wanted to bridge. We wanted to bridge self-care with some form of healing.
Okay.
So that's basically what we created.
I love it. And I think it's like so important. I love that we're having this conversation because I feel like through the pandemic, that has been the conversation with my friends of like, what is your self-care ritual? Like, how do you ground yourself? And so if you had any tips to share with anybody that is watching and kind of struggling with like self-care in general, like, do you have anything that you can share?
Yeah, I would say self-care is different for everyone, but it's just taking that moment for yourself to kind of just give yourself what your heart needs. And for some, it's having a cup of coffee or doing a face mask or lighting a candle. There's not one size fits all. It's just taking that moment to not think of anything else, not think of work or things that stress you out, and just it's kind of like a deep breath. And it can be something simple, just like going on a walk. And so I feel like if you take that moment to be able to do that, we will just be a lot less stressed out and have a more genuine connection with ourselves.
I agree. And also, like you said, going out in nature, grounding yourself, taking that moment to like just stop worrying about like what you're gonna make for dinner, what you're gonna do for work, and whether it's getting your hair cut, getting your nails done, like it's just all about taking that moment of like just peace and quiet and just loving yourself.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like, when anybody would ask me about like, well, Domenica, what do you like to do for self-care? And I would say like sometimes, unfortunately, it's not a learned thing to do, right? Depending on your family dynamic and history, it's something that maybe like as you go on your journey, like it may come through, friends or different family members. It took me a while to kind of figure out what was my thing, what do I like to do that's gonna like make me decompress, and what is that go-to thing. So I love being very creative. I love, art. And so I love painting. Recently I've discovered paint pour. And so, yeah, that's been very, it's a moment to just not think about anything else and just focus on the colors. But I've discovered that I love lighting the candles as I'm doing paint pour, and putting like acoustic music in the background. And so I just kind of let the vibe of the smell and the music allow me to like guide the way that I'm moving the paint. And it's kind of cool. So, I love like pointing that out, because I feel that with candles, like you can go beyond of just, lighting them and enjoying the smell. You can incorporate them, to different things that you're doing throughout the day.
Yeah, definitely. Totally. Yeah. Especially it's not just a sensory experience, like you said, it's the visual of seeing it, and it's kind of the act of a ritual rather than just letting it make your house smell good. Yeah. And so I love the whole painting thing, incorporating the sound, the smell, the sight from the colors. It sounds like a great way.
Yeah, I've been really, picking it up lately, and really trying to discover like, okay, is this the thing? And definitely right now it's the thing. But I also was kind of curious. I would love for you to share, because I already know, but I want everybody else to know the story behind the name that you picked.
Yeah, sure. You want to go ahead and take that away?
Yeah. So Amor is just, that love that we've always had for life, for healing, for just being part of this beautiful earth. And so we chose Amor and Quartz because Quartz is also the master healer. It's that like main crystal that brings energy to everything, and it amplifies your intention. So when we amplify the intention of love, well, that's exactly what we have in our products.
I love that. So what is your process with like picking out the names of the candles?
Yeah, so each of our candles has a different intention, a self-care intention, just like self-love. We have the master healer, we have to cleanse your energy, and we have one for grounding. So we really take everything in consideration, from the crystal intention that resonates with it, to the scent, and to the name. So for example, our self-love candle is called Amor. And with that, it's rose quartz. And rose quartz is known as the stone of unconditional love and self-acceptance and forgiveness. So we thought it would be perfect with that. And then it's paired with our jasmine scent. And jasmine, traditionally as aromatherapy, is known to boost your self-worth and self-confidence. So we really do the research to make sure that everything lines up every step of the way. And it's really important for us to keep the intentions, because as you're lighting it, you can remember that, oh, I'm lighting this candle in this moment to give myself some love, or I'm lighting it to cleanse my energy and renew myself. So that's basically the process that we go through to name and to customize each candle.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. And I know that, when you care about something so deeply and it's so meaningful, I feel like that energy, gets passed on to the person that it's going to light the candle, so how special, because it's different from, just going to a retail store and buying a candle that's kind of universal. But I feel what sets your candles apart and what you do is that you really take that time to love on them and be very intentional with the way that you're designing them and picking out the name and all that. So that's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So is there anything that's that you're excited about that is like, are you gonna have like a new release candle or anything coming up that you want to highlight?
Yeah, we just started our fall launch for our candles. We've been working months, super hard, tireless nights, but we've been working on these candles here. So we hand make the vessels out of concrete. This is actually our cleanse candle, and we've been just trying to perfect the wax recipe, the wicks. Those took forever. We want to make sure that people have a safe, beautiful candle in their house, of course. And so we just had a pop-up recently, and that was kind of like the first push of our products out into the world. And we were super excited and we received so much good feedback. So I just felt really, really good about this candle selection that we have.
Wow, that's so exciting. So tell me a little bit, like, why did you choose like the concept of concrete?
Yeah, so we wanted to be a little bit more sustainable. We felt like if we are sending healing to people's homes, that we need to take care of our first and foremost home, which is Mother Earth. And it's actually a lot more sustainable to create your own vessel rather than get it from a glass manufacturer. The carbon footprint's a lot smaller. The concrete that we use is actually patented to be a greener choice in concrete. As long as the sealant that we use, it's plant-based and it has no chemicals or anything like that. So we decided it would be a great way to be a little bit more sustainable, but as well as have something that people are going to want to reuse and keep in their house after the candle's ending, rather than just throw away the jar. And we love the uniqueness of it. Each candle comes out different. We do this marbling watercolor effect. So you are going to have a very unique vessel, no matter which candle it is. There will be no two that are the same.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I love that you shared that, because I think that's something that it creates the experience really even more special, because I know that I have so many candles over the years, and it's like, what do I do with them when the wax is stuck at the bottom? And it doesn't completely dissolve, or, the person who made the candle, or should I say more like the business, like really doesn't intentionally put time or effort. They're just like mass producing it. And it's like very obvious, right? Because there's like, 30 of the same candles, and, by the time you take one home and you use it, but like then like a little bit of the black of the candle kind of surrounds it and kind of stains the glass of it or whatever it is. And so it's like, I have a dud. You know what I mean? I have a dud.
I completely understand.
It stains black, and like I can't reuse it. It doesn't look pretty, so I just end up throwing it away. But I feel bad, because coming from a Latina mama, she, the Mexican Tupperware of using the Cool Whip, so it's like it feels awful to throw away, that empty candle, and not like, man, I think I could have like maybe planted a flower. But because, it's kind of yucky, it's not going to do justice to the flower, so all these things go through my head. But I love that you have that intention, or, that you're putting that at the forefront, that you're doing something to honor our earth and have something that your customers can reuse and really enjoy. And it's not just going to be sitting there or maybe perhaps thrown away,
Right.
Definitely.
there's anything interesting that you've kind of found out through the process, or maybe you've met other people and it hasn't been the best experience.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, we had no idea going in. Like you said, our only experience with candles was the mass produced. We didn't even know there was this whole group of people making handmade candles. So when we went into it, we just saw how welcoming everyone was. Everyone wanted to help you. It was a lot more community over competition. And we say that a lot in the candle community, that we are a community, because no two candle maker is going to be the same. Even if you have the exact same set in the exact same jar, it always comes out different. And so what I really loved about it is all the collaboration and how much resources there were, not just from other candle makers, but the candle suppliers themselves, the fragrance companies and the wax companies. They were just very collaborative. So it was really cool going into that and making all these new connections and meeting all these other small candle makers from all across the world doing it, because before I didn't really know, but now that I'm in it, there are thousands of thousands, and you're starting to see them at pop-ups now all over in the Bay Area. There's a whole bunch, and each one's unique. And so that's what I really love about being in this industry.
That's so cool. I love that. I was talking to a different small business female founder, and she was saying that when she broke into her industry, being really new in it, she wasn't met with the same like warm welcoming. It was more of like, oh, your competition. And I love that you're pointing that out, because I'm a firm believer that, hey, there's enough success for all of us, right? There's, if I have a piece of the puzzle to your success, I'm going to give it away. So that's the way that I lead with my leadership style. So I think it's special that the candle community really stands out, and it has been standing out to me to really be in that community of really embracing that and leading with that, because it's something special. And I think that it also transfers to the actual product, right? Because it definitely stands out when it's handmade versus something that is mass produced.
Definitely. I feel like the handmade, it's just, everyone's so creative. There's so many different kinds of handmade candles, not just concrete, because that's a whole other like subject over there with concrete candle makers. But it's so cool seeing everyone's creativity, especially with the fragrance blending and all that.
That's so cool. So is there any upcoming pop-ups that you're going to be a part of? I know things are kind of still slow, with COVID, but is there anything coming up that anybody in your area may know of that they can come and connect?
Yeah, so we have one coming up in next Saturday, actually. Where was it? The Cow Palace?
No. So the next Saturday one is going to be in San Jose, and I believe it's called Alum Road. And that's going to be, it's with the Bay Area Dream Market. So it's going to be about 50 vendors, a lot of thrifted items and small handmade stuff and some food. We are next month, we are going to be at the Foodie Lands in Berkeley, and that will be October 15th. It's a 3-day event with so much good food and a little bit of handmade items. And then in another one in October, we will be at the Cow Palace, which is what you were talking about. They're going to have this huge expo. It's going to be a whole bunch of small businesses from the Bay Area, about 200 vendors there. So it's going to be a really nice expo. And then in November, on Black Friday weekend, we are going to be a part of the San Jose Arts and Crafts Holiday Fair. And a 3-day event in the Santa Clara Convention Center. So that's everything that we have lined up so far for the next couple months.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So definitely like send me information, because I'm sure everyone that is watching is going to want to know like, hey, where do I go? So anybody that's watching or listening will definitely put those links so you can make sure that you're there to support the ladies. And how exciting. That is amazing. That's going to be a lot of business. And, that's one thing that I love about being able to do pop-ups. Is that you're there meeting the people that are buying your product.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
I love it. And just like handing it over, like that transaction, like I feel so much gratitude for it, for that person. Just like it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, that's so cool. So is there anything that you've encountered in this process that has been difficult that kind of surprised you?
Just like the candle making process
Mhm.
itself, like we didn't realize how much of a science it actually is, needing to like heat the wax at a certain temperature, pour at a certain temperature, like, and like the most important part is making sure that you have the right size wick, because if you don't, it can be a fire hazard. So just like it took us a lot of trial and error to get the
Mhm.
perfect candle recipe with the right amount of fragrance. And then the concrete molds were like a whole monster of itself, because that took us a few, oh my gosh, a few weeks, months, like to just figure the concrete mold itself.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I love that you're sharing that because I feel like anybody that is going to be a potential customer and that has like supported both of you in the past, like they can also hear like this is a labor of love. It's not something that just okay, this girl looks
Yeah,
great, it's done, right? Like it
yeah,
is trial and error and trying to figure out, I like that you said the science behind it, right? There's a lot of science behind it.
Yeah.
And lots of times when we go to a retail store, I feel like, I'm just moseying down the aisles and I don't appreciate the work behind it. And, I know that we talked about mass production, but when it comes to, that small business and where I'm going to the pop up and I'm talking to the sellers, like I definitely appreciate and honor the work behind it. And I know that, my money is supporting their dream and that it's not just a big company. And, not that there's anything wrong with that. We all go to retailers and, go and get what we need. But I love being able to like get down to the nitty of gritty of why we need to shop local, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely, you don't feel that same magic when you get that mass produced versus that small handmade business, because you can see and feel the love rather than it just being generic over and over again. But I think that's what I love about the small business, especially the handmade, is that you can just see all the labor that goes behind
yeah.
it.
I
Right.
definitely like look at small businesses so much more differently, because I'm like, oh my God, like it probably took them a really long time to figure this out. Like you can just tell like how much love that they put into the product versus if you go, to Target and you just buy a random brand, like it's just like there's this kind of disconnection there.
Yeah, that is so true. I know. So when I got introduced to entrepreneurship, I always kid around and say, well, I didn't wake up wanting to sell makeup and skincare. That was, what I got introduced to. And I love, love, love helping other women feel confident and enhance their beauty that was already inside of them. And I fell in love with really the lifestyle and this concept that you don't have to be at an 8 to 5 that sucks, that you can turn your passion to profit and really just fall in love with the work that you do and know that it's making a difference, that it's very soul fulfilling. And so, that is something that many of the next generation, is not introduced to and they don't know about it. So, I thank you for being able to step into a little bit of vulnerable space and share like what's hard about it, what's great about it, because I feel that this is, a different lifestyle and a different opportunity that it's available to anyone, whether it be candles or lipstick or, making, whatever you love that you want to, your passion that you're turning into, profits. And I think it's something very beautiful that, very rewarding, right? Because I'm sure at the end of, seeing this candle that you did, it's very gratifying.
Oh my gosh, it's the best feeling ever.
The confidence that I built and like being able to, I remember selling like those candy bars like at school and having all these
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
competitions of who's going to sell the most candy bars. And they were like the world famous candy bars, like for $1. And
yeah.
so, I got to, sorry, I'm jumping in stories, but I have a
It's
point.
okay.
I went to go see Oprah in San Jose. She came one year, like, I don't know, it was like way before COVID. And she said, pay attention to the common threads in your life. And so I was like, oh, that is a common thread, like selling things. So if I wasn't selling chocolate, I was selling, friendship bracelets. Like that was trendy for a hot minute, buying the string and, putting them together. And then I remember selling keychains because that was the thing. And eventually I was like, oh, like this was a path that was leading me to entrepreneurship and really following those heartstrings. I remember the first time in one of my what I call corporate jobs, you're 8 to 5, when I realized like I had to present someone a retirement gift, and it was just a clock, a plastic clock. And I was like, wow, for 30 years of her working in this company, I had to give her a plastic clock. And that was like, maybe I need to pay attention to this entrepreneur thing because I was like, a clock. And it was funny because even after that, I kept seeing the same plastic clock at different department stores. Like over the years, it wasn't like on the same day. I would see one, and then a couple of months or like 3 years passed, and I would see this clock, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to pay attention because, that's not fun. And I love celebrating entrepreneurship. I love celebrating female founders because I think it takes courage to explore something that gets you excited, that is a gift to other people, to, help them find balance or healing, or, just get grounded with the candle. So I think what both of you are doing and giving to the world is like amazing. So, I thank you for sharing. But as we are wrapping up our time together, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to share with everyone?
Yeah, I would say a big part is we mentioned like the huge theme and mission is healing. We both are actually Reiki masters, so we do energy healing. It's a healing modality that originated in Japan, but it's used worldwide now. So we actually put a little bit of that healing into our candles to just amplify the intention and really bring that home to people. And we like to say this saying of heal yourself, heal the world. Mm-hmm. And so what we love to do, which is a big part of our business, is at the end of every month, we take a percentage of our sales and we donate it to different nonprofits. So for this month, we're actually donating to the wildfire relief. We love our beautiful state of California, but unfortunately, with the climate crisis, things are getting a lot more hotter, a lot more fires. And so we felt that it was important that we bring healing to people's homes and then we share that back to the world. And so it's just this big overall arching theme of just generally healing. Yeah. So I think that's just really important with the Reiki infused and our donations, and just our customers feeling like they're taking that healing from themselves, but they can feel good that their products also giving back to different areas in the community.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. And I love that you brought to the table our climate crisis, because I think that it's not being talked about enough, and, we need to pay attention. And I love that your company, has that cause behind it. Every month you pick something different. And I think right now the hot topic is those wildfires. And even beyond that, affecting the respiratory tract with young kids and not being able to breathe. So it's important. So I love being able to support a business that has a cause behind it. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for putting that at the forefront, because it is good work. And so as we end, where can people connect with you and purchase?
Yeah. So right now we are on Etsy. So our link is on our Instagram, but it's just Amor and Quartz.etsy.com. Right now our shop's closed. We are, like she said, we were doing a rebranding relaunch. We just had the soft opening with the events. So if you really want to get something on it, one of our products before the website is all filled up with our products would be to head over to one of the local pop-ups that we're doing. But other than that, we are expecting to have everything up on our Etsy in October. And you can connect with us on Instagram or TikTok at Amor and Quartz. And we're always updating there and showing behind the scenes footage of what actually goes into making all our candles and products.
Okay, I love it. Well, you heard it here, everyone. Ladies, do not log off. Thank you for joining me today and just sharing about yourselves and the business. And we'll definitely have you back because I feel like there's more conversation here. Definitely want to let everyone know about the Reiki part also, because that is a modality that is very healing. And I think not a lot of people know about it. So I would love to have that conversation with both of you and just do a deep dive about it. So everyone, until next time, thank you for joining us in the series La Tiendita. All right, ladies, thank you for being here. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, bye.